What's up, everybody? I'm Scott.
I'm Jason.
And you're listening to Liquid Carnage. What's going on, buddy?
Nothing much, man. I'm just living the dream, buddy.
Right? Hey,
always living the dream.
I want to point this out. We're actually recording in the evening right now. We alternate between evenings and mornings.
Yes.
And I've noticed a definite difference in tone between our recording sessions.
That's bull crap, man.
I am a lot more lucid in the evening than I am at 6 a.m.
I've done a lot of thinking about that comment because you made that comment a couple weeks ago too.
That's been burning you.
I speak better in the morning or evening than the morning. What are you talking about? You should be fresh in the morning. You should have mind go, not I worked out, I've worked all day, let's talk.
Yeah, but I just got done working out, so my mind is it's going, it's fresh, it's clear. I've worked out the stress of the days, so I'm ready to talk. I'm good.
I hope that we can talk about something fun today because I'm already feeling a lot of anger towards you, and I need something to like brighten me up a little bit.
Wow, anger.
Yeah.
We should bring in a therapist. We could work out our issues.
We should, but we need a couch for that.
We could record from a couch. But there you go.
There we go.
Any rate, we have a very special guest today. She's a fan of the show, a friend of the show. Skye Nelson is here with us. Skye, say hello.
Hello.
Long-time listener, first-time podcast mate.
Yeah, Skye's been listening since day one, and we really appreciate that. And we ran into Skye the other night at the grand opening of a local restaurant here.
Why don't we give a quick plug?
To Rickety Cricket Brewing.
Rickety Cricket Brewing had a really successful first day.
First weekend. Fantastic. Those guys make amazing food, have a lot of beer on tap, a full bar. It's a great atmosphere, too.
Check it out. It's right next to the House of Hops in downtown
It's all
Kingman,
connected.
Arizona.
The House of Hops is connected to it, but check it out, downtown Kingman. But we ran into Skye, and Skye pointed out that her favorite episode so far was one where I was yelling at my dogs, who you often hear in the show, and I told you to edit it out, and you said, yeah, sure, and then you forgot to edit that whole part out of the show.
Sometimes I do edit when I'm drinking, so that's probably not the best idea to do.
Well, with the production value that we have here, I understand. It's you get what you pay for.
Hey, you know what? No, I am this close to being like a rap producer or something, man. I just have like 2 little switches, and I could be like one of the best.
Can you be a rap producer? I want to see the gold chains. I want to see like the baller lifestyle Jason Edgeworth.
Oh, I don't think you do.
I think I do.
There's another podcast we can talk about binge drinking. We had been binge watching once. This weekend was a nonstop binge drinking weekend for me. I think I had about 6 hours sleep the whole weekend.
Holy crap.
So we'll do that for another time, though.
But at any rate, so we ran into Skye at the grand opening, and she had mentioned how big of a fan of the show she was. And she was with a gentleman that she is seeing, hanging out with. I don't know what the term is these days. We know the gentleman.
Skye, how would you define that?
That's the problem. She couldn't. She didn't want to. So I said, hey, you want to come on the show and talk about it? She said, yeah, sure, why not? So the trick is for our guests is that if we get them drunk and ask them to be on the show, they generally say yes. So it is 3 days later. Skye is now sober, and she is here on the set of Liquid Carnage about to talk to us about just life and relationships.
Well, I think that this topic is actually really important because we do have a lot of people who go through relationships where it isn't properly defined, where it's either, maybe it's just a, may I say, booty call.
Yeah.
For 2 years, nothing but a 2-year booty call, which is a definition all of itself. Or it's, does he like me? Does he not?
Is this going somewhere?
So,
what do I do?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So your insight will actually be really, really nice for our listeners to have, and maybe to teach us a little thing or two.
And you're on the younger scale of adulthood. You're still in your early 20s. So you
lock on, girl. Yeah, with your socks on.
You experience life a whole lot different than I do in my late 30s, and you in your mid 40s. It's
big time.
Big time. Plus, you're also a girl, so being a lady changes the game a little bit. And so, Skye, you don't have to name names if you don't want to. That's fine. A certain human you've been seeing, and I'll be honest, he's a good dude. I've known him for a while. I know the family pretty well. I did not realize that Skye was seeing said gentleman until we, as a giant group of friends, went to the lake one day, and a family member of her. I don't know, what would you call him right now? Is he your boyfriend? Is that the problem?
You can't there's no label on it. I mean, like it's not a boyfriend. I mean, but it's the guy I've been hanging out with. So is it like a man friend? Is it
still strictly casual, or is it because you both are freshly out of relationships essentially?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, within the last year or so. You both are just gun shy.
Yep.
And I guess just feeling out what the world is like.
Okay. Let's start with simple questions. Do you have a good time with him?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's always a good time, but there's always obviously insecurities that you deal with after coming out of an awful relationship or a long-term relationship, I guess. So it's...
And how long have you been friends with this person?
Well, I've known this person because we played softball, like, against each other.
Oh.
So I've known who this person was.
Gotcha. Okay.
But we just started talking, I'd say, like, 2.5, maybe 3 months ago.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So you're still kind of new.
It's
to
still
this.
fresh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Statistics say that a crush usually lasts 4 months, and then it goes. If it lasts after that, it's more than just a crush. So it's almost like the honeymoon phase still. So you got some time.
Right.
You got some time to figure out what you're doing.
Exactly.
I mean, the way I see it, I'm not sure when we're going to air this episode, but she has until the holidays to figure this out. Because once you get to the Thanksgiving season, then that's when it gets complicated. You're going to have that RDT, so
Right.
that relationship defining talk.
Like, are you spending holidays together?
Exactly.
Or
How are we going
happen?
to do this?
Was the relationship prior to this one a long relationship that you were in?
I was in a relationship for 6 years.
Yeah.
6 years?
Yeah.
That is more than her
Holy
adult life so far.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I did the math.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
It is.
So being gun shy makes total sense.
Yeah, and
Well, the game changes so quickly too as you get older. I'm not quite sure. Well, you were a teenager when you started dating,
Yeah.
and now you're in your early 20s. You're dating as an adult. It's such a different ball game too. Now alcohol is legally involved.
That's
very true.
that's very true. I will agree with that as well, because that always makes a difference on a
It
relationship.
does. It does.
Yeah.
So how long were you broke up with the first boyfriend before starting with this boyfriend?
It's been almost 2 years.
Oh, okay. So
So
we're talking.
I'm kind of far out of it, but
Okay, so you're
you're
far
almost
out of that
you're almost going back
relationship,
to
and you
square
went
one.
single for quite a while
Hmm?
before you started talking to this guy.
Right.
And
right.
it sounds like he's the same situation, broke up with someone, and now a time
Right.
away.
But he's not had 2 years.
He's a lot fresher than you are.
A lot.
No.
For sure.
Okay.
I'm going to play role reversal today. I've got the statistics instead of you. I don't have a list.
Okay, I'm ready for your statistics.
It is said that it takes 2 months for every year you were with somebody to recover. So if you're with somebody for 6 years, it's 2 months for every year. So do the math. It takes about a year for you to fully recover from that and be okay.
Okay.
So Skye is right where she needs to be, I think, and that she's ready to find that next step. It's just trying to find somebody that she wants to take that next step with, and you're still enjoying what you're doing.
Right.
It's
exactly.
fun. And you guys, I've seen you guys out numerous times, and it looks like it's always a good time. And I'm a little jealous to get to hang out and have that much fun, all the time, because I have to talk about podcasts with you in our off time, and
Wow.
that's.
Wow.
I'm kidding. I love that a lot.
I was gonna say
I love
thank
that a
you.
lot.
I
but-
mean, yeah, I think
Sounds like
I'd
that.
rather be out at the bar having a good time too. But
Yeah,
we
I know-
have commitments here.
I know we have a show to produce because we do love our listeners.
Would you say that is there a length of time that you feel comfortable where you say it's not just hanging out, it's a relationship?
I think that's where everybody,
I think-
even say your age, like how long do you hang out with somebody before you're saying, oh, now we're actually going to be together? You know what I mean? Like that's where I think that's where it hits like that empty gap. Like what do you consider? How long do you?
I think you just know sometimes. Like I don't want to hang out with anybody else. I just want to hang out with you. Like
Right.
I want to talk to you first thing and last thing in the day, and I want to be the first person I talk to about stuff. I think when you get to that level, that's when you know it's
So do you have something like for every 1 year of life you have 3 hours?
I don't
of
think I like you
wait?
patronizing my stats here.
Well played.
I couldn't help myself. I apologize.
Touche.
Touche.
That is the comeback from what just happened. I understand.
Yeah, I think that it is hard because you don't want to move too fast. You don't want to move too slow, like timing
Right.
out, okay, when is it right? Because you always know that one person is going to fall harder, faster than the other person.
It seems like everybody's always in such a rush too. Like, and maybe at your age especially, like, oh my God, I have to get married. If I don't get married now and soon start having kids now, the end of the world. I'm going to be an old parent. It's the end of the world as we know it. I mean, and
Wow.
I think that feeling is really out there with a lot of people, and
Well,
you got to kind of slow.
See, I find something different. I find that a lot of people, and not trying to include anyone in this group, they have to have that sense of belonging with someone. And so sometimes you'll see people like rush into a relationship because they feel, oh man, I got to be with someone.
Right.
If I'm not with someone, then I'm a big loser. Or
Yeah.
I got to go to movies by myself, or I got to be a third wheel. That's always a bad one too.
Yeah, you get used
When
to that
you're
after
with
a
a
while,
couple.
though.
I was gonna say, I get after 2 years, like
It's
you
no
just
big
get
deal
used
for
to
me.
it.
I'm about 2 years out of my last serious relationship too, and I don't care about that stuff anymore, but that's also an age and security thing. I'm fine being me. I'm going to go to, just as a side note, I'm going to New Orleans with some friends over Halloween to be the third wheel.
Nice.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what the best part is like if they can do whatever they want to go do, if I don't want to do it, I'm perfectly okay going off doing my own thing.
There you go.
Especially in a random city.
Do you find that this man that you're with wants more from you right now than you want from him?
No, I think it's just me being hesitant. Obviously, like, he's just out of that relationship, and I think that's where I hesitate.
Well, he said something very similar on Friday night, too.
But is your hesitation because of potential that he might want to go back with her?
I don't think it's that.
Or him? Well, I mean, I don't know if
he
you're
go
open
back
for
with
that.
her thing, like, yeah, whatever.
Okay.
I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that at all. It's just I get when you're fresh out of a relationship, like, sometimes it's just nice to have that space from people, to have, like, I don't want to be with people. I don't want to do anything. Like, don't get me wrong, if it's hanging out with somebody, it's hanging out with somebody. If it's nice, but...
Well, it's that
limits.
feeling
It's
of
like
finding your own individuality again, finding out what life is being you again. And I think that's the important thing before you can actually get into a relationship is understanding who you are.
And how many people out there, though, that their definition of themselves is not complete unless they have someone?
Oh, it's
Right,
the worst.
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
Like,
some
you
people say,
see
I
that
don't
all
like
the
being
time.
alone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Noreen has flat out told me, Jason, if you died or if we broke up, I don't like being alone. So I won't rush in anything, but if I find a guy who's the right guy, I'll pursue something.
Yeah. Wow. We're going to take a short break here on Liquid Carnage to get Jason some Kleenex.
I love you, babe.
No, I think you're right. Some people define themselves by being in relationships, and they define themselves by what their partner defines themselves as, and that's a problem, because then you lose yourself, and one day you wake up and you realize that you're not who you want to be because you don't know who you are, and that's a problem that plagues a lot of people.
Relationship fails because you're looking at it like, oh, I don't want to be with you because I'm just so dependent on you. Like, it's a dependent thing, like you said. You're dependent on one person, so then all of a sudden it's like,
That can be
I
scary.
don't know how to be independent.
That can be scary.
Like you said, you wake up and it's like, boom.
I think that's what you find when you find something that's solid. It's you can go do your thing, they can go do theirs, but you have your things together. You know, it's having that own individuality and being able to be couples too.
Now, do you find it difficult having a discussion with someone that's saying, let's define what we're talking about here? Like, or is that like, has that even been brought up?
Is it rude to ask if you guys want to do that on the show? Can we
No,
too soon?
you already asked it. I mean, it's...
Okay, I mean...
I thought I prefaced everything by saying there are no answers required. Everything is we can stop at any time.
Yeah, we didn't do that on the air, though, so I just want to get that on the air, but I guess we'll edit that part out, too.
It seems to me that would be a conversation that should come pretty freely, right? And
exactly.
should come with like a very comfort level, like, hey, I like where we're going. Hey, you like where I'm going. Let's go for it. You guys don't live together yet, do you?
Oh, God, no.
That would be a defining talk right there.
That
on
really
its
would
own.
be. And we both have dogs.
Ooh.
And our dogs have not met each other yet.
Oh, that's like kids, man.
Kids.
That's like kids.
It's like, it's really hard because, and yeah, I don't think there'd be an issue. Like, I've obviously seen both of our dogs, and I think it'd be fine, but it's one of those things like, you gotta wait a little bit.
Yeah.
It just takes time to do
You got to do that gently, and then you got to blend that family at that point. Once the dogs meet, it's like kids. They become best friends, and
yeah,
they share squeakies, and it's all game over.
Share squeakies.
You know, it's
Sorry.
it's tough, man. I don't got kids. I got dogs. I understand how that is.
that's all I have is a dog. But
Say.
I mean, that's what it is. But no, those talk. I mean, it's, I guess, in a way been brought up, but it's not been a full conversation.
Would you be okay in your situation developing to something more?
I think at this point, yeah, but at the same time, I don't want to jump in anything either.
Okay. Have you met his family?
Half? I don't know. It's hard because his family's like, he's iffy about some of them, iffy about...
Have you met the primaries?
Yes.
Mom, sister?
Yes.
Okay.
And he's met your parents?
Yes. He
Well,
actually
I think
does
he's-
family barbecues with
Yeah,
us.
if you don't know Skye's parents in this town, you're living under a rock. Let's be honest.
True.
That's true. That is true. They're big names around here. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's true.
We're going to do
That's
a great plug for Dina Nelson State Farm for all your insurance needs.
You're welcome, Mom.
You're welcome, Dina. I would plug Mac's business, but it's the fire department, so just don't burn anything down and Mac won't have to come see you. I mean, that seems to be the easiest plug right there for that.
Nailed it.
He plays a mean bagpipe though.
Don't burn anything down. You're fine.
But yeah, just go like Kingman Fire Pipes and Drums
Yeah.
on Facebook. I mean,
Yeah,
it's-
Kingman Fire Pipe and Drums, Mac Nelson, one of the bagpipe players. Amazing job, Mac. Good job. So he does the family stuff. And I'm assuming it's pretty comfortable at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. It's fine.
Is it comfortable because you guys haven't pushed the envelope of what the relationship is?
Yeah, and I think that's why it is that hasn't been pushed.
Okay.
Neither of us are like seriously looking for that, but neither of us would be like opposed to it.
So you're just gonna walk that line,
It could be something he just
Yeah.
walks for a while.
and that's
Exactly.
fine. I think that.
Okay.
I think that's on. I guess like you said earlier, or like way in the beginning. I mean, it's you have one or the other. It's
So-
you could be right in it.
So like tonight, you're recording with us,
right.
and does he know that you're recording with us?
Yeah.
And he didn't come by, but he didn't care that you were coming over here.
No,
Okay.
I got it. Okay, cool.
I think we might have a new listener though to the show.
Oh, good. That's
So when it's all-
helpful.
if he hasn't listened already, I think he's gonna want to check it out.
What was said?
So
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I want to just listen for entertainment purposes.
I heard these guys are pretty funny. We'll see.
Let's see what actually happens.
Let's see what actually goes on there at Liquid Carnage.
What do you guys have in common? What do you like? What do you guys like about each other? Or like, how would you do? What would you say you guys have in common with each other that says, yeah, this is why I like this person?
Almost everything. Like I
Whoa,
couldn't say
whoa.
that there's not like a lot that we don't have in common.
Okay.
He cooks. I don't. I mean, that's really like where it comes out to. Like
I can see how that's a commonality.
I'm just like one of those things. Like he really
That's
likes
that's
it. I
more
don't.
that's
Like,
more
it's-
balanced than it is commonality.
You guys both play
one of those
softball.
things that-
Yeah.
Play softball.
You both enjoy a nice cold alcoholic beverage every so
I was gonna
often.
say an alcoholic beverage every now and again.
Tattoo connoisseurs, I would say.
Kind of.
You know, he's
We
got.
both have them.
You
yeah.
both have them, so I think once you start getting them, you start looking and you start noticing ink on people to see what's quality, what's not. So
Right.
Well-
Sense of humor.
Okay,
yeah,
that's
he-
always
he-
big.
He thinks I'm funny. I don't really think I'm funny, but I mean, apparently I have a sense of humor that he finds. So
Nice,
That's
quirky,
cool, I
good.
guess.
That's quirky humor or
You're
over
both-
the top.
you're both very tolerant, obviously,
hey, yeah.
patient with each other.
Okay, we're gonna get real now. What would be the one thing you'd miss if you said, "We're done tonight"? Like you left here and he said, "We're done." What'd be the one thing you'd miss?
The constant conversation. Like it's never
Never dull.
dull. We
Always-
can talk all
always
day and
about
it's
anything.
Always like anything.
And then when
Wow.
you see it, it's over text. When you see him at the end of the day in person, it just keeps rolling like you
Yeah.
never missed a beat.
Yeah. And it like there'd be like one conversation on text and like he could Snapchat me and it'd be like a completely different conversation, but it'd be constant. Like there's nothing that
Yeah, those are the
And
best.
that-
Those are the best relationships like
What
that.
kind of girl did he date before you?
I don't know. I'll be honest with you.
Oh,
I
we don't know her very much.
So you both have kind of left that part of your past in the past. Have you talked about your past relationship with him?
A little bit, just because I got emotional and I was like, oh my god.
I think it's probably better if we just stop right now.
One of those where I was like, I got really scared and then I just
can't
cried
go on.
about it.
Then you got it out.
And then I got it out.
Well, I think
So-
that'd be part if they ever, that point they get to that talk that they would have to actually discuss their exes and what kind of baggage that might have inlaid on
Right.
you.
Yeah, I think, and maybe the progression of a relationship does happen in stages. Like this stage right now is all the things I find I really like about this person. Great
Right.
conversation. He's good looking. He's funny. He's active. All the stuff. You get to that part. Then the next part is, okay, now I'm starting to find the things that drive me a little nuts. Okay, well, this
But-
I can handle. This I can't.
But are those deal breakers? That's the question.
That's
at
a
that
deal.
point.
That's a whole different episode. But
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
The
That's deal breakers, right?
You,
So
you
then
could
you
coincidentally
get-
find one of those episodes here on Liquid Carnage on iTunes and Podbean.
That's
So,
right.
Cheap
Oh,
plug.
and actually, if you want to listen to it on YouTube, we've got it on YouTube.
on YouTube as well. All at Liquid Carnage.
So
Facebook
that's the
and
next
Twitter
phase.
as well.
Then there's another phase where it's like, okay, now our conversations are talking about the inner demons, the things we're afraid of, the things that we can't really talk about openly, but I trust you enough that I'm going to talk to you about my fetishes, my issues, my demons, all of the things that drive me nuts. And then because that's now, now your mask is off,
Your guard is down.
guard is
Now,
down.
now you have to be raw. You have to be raw. You have to be real, and you have to be
All
open
of
and
it.
honest about it.
Mm-hmm.
And that person has to not be afraid
Yeah,
and be able to do the same thing.
yeah.
And that's hard to find, man. And it gets so scary these days because everyone's so quick to discard relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So you never really quite know who's in it and who is just, messing around with you.
Well, how many people, I mean, we all know these people that they are so focused on the 3 or 6 months of, oh my gosh, this is the greatest relationship ever. Let's get married. Because they know that if they wait the next 6 months or whatever until they find out all the crap, then it's like, oh, I may not want this person in my life.
Let's get this thing ended now. Yeah, exactly.
Man, it's scary, man.
It is, dude.
Relationships are tough.
Dating's it's a different beast now with the introduction of social media and texting, and the game changes so fast.
I think about
another one. Like, does that ruin a relationship?
I think it can. I think it can. I think you get on social media, man. You play too much with that. You start like, well, they didn't like my stuff. I didn't like their stuff. They think I'm out. They think I'm in.
He's liking her stuff. She's liking his stuff.
Yeah, you start paying attention to stuff like that. It's stupid.
Yeah.
It should be a certain point. If you trust that person, they trust you. You could be able to say, "Hey, man, you know what we're doing. I know what we're doing. We're opening honest to each other. I have nothing to hide from you." And
I think about the entire mask that people put on because they're either afraid that someone's not going to really like the real us, or they're afraid that they're going to find out we weren't golden children when we were younger. We did things that we probably wish we hadn't done, and lived life experiences that we probably
nobody's perfect.
No one's perfect, but when we're dating, we try to put our best game forward. We try to put our best act forward, and so many people get into a relationship by looking at all the good stuff and not.
I think you have to take a harder look at the bad stuff too, because a lot of that is what is okay with you, what is not okay with you, and what is something that if they're willing to work on. With you.
The extra baggage.
Have you ever been in a situation where you were afraid to tell the bad stuff because you thought, if I told him this or if I told her that,
all the time.
They're gone. They're gone.
All the time.
It's a direct phobia. It's crippling, actually.
Not to mention that when you do say it and then they do leave your
exactly.
Exactly.
Then it's like, wow.
Or it's like there's no response. It's just silence. Like what's going on in your head?
I would
or the
hope,
facial expression.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay,
look, I gotta go.
Wow. Oh my gosh, look, my dog's on fire. I need to go.
I would hope that discussion is done face to face and is in a very open, honest, safe place.
Oh yeah, I feel like
that's what I would hope if I ever had that conversation again, or when I have that conversation.
Yeah,
again.
Let's be positive, man. Let's talk some positivity.
Right.
If I ever have that relationship again, I hope I can be honest. No, Scott, come on.
Suck it up.
Game on, baby.
Don't cry. All right. So, anyway, it's a very interesting situation because it's a very natural thing. I've seen you guys together. It's a very natural. It's a very fun looking relationship. Like you guys definitely enjoy each other.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's good. That's really good.
So, from an outside perspective, looking in, I would say things are going well.
Oh yeah. I don't have any issue with it. I mean,
we haven't even talked about the big stuff. Kids, how they handle their finances, what religious beliefs they have.
After two and a half
political. We haven't even talked about political beliefs.
We're
at stage 3, and there's another stage that's even worse. That's when you have to start agreeing on kids.
Even with that, it's you're still on that fun stage. You're not having to. Having those, how do you handle your finances? How do you do this? How do you do that? You're still fact finding and enjoying the facts.
I think both of us are we've kind of had the financial thing, not talk, but it's been we've seen each other the way we are with our money and everything. Both of us are very much penny pinchers. We're not going to spend money if we don't have to spend money. Or
Scott, hey, how you doing, buddy? You want to buy a round? Sure.
Nice. Yeah. That's a problem.
We both have our savings accounts.
Baby.
Into them, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Certain things need to be paid off before we're going to do other things.
Yes, that's the responsible approach. So
now, I have met people that don't have a religious or political view. Is that something that would mean something to you? Do they have to have a set?
No. I mean,
if they have a set view,
beliefs are beliefs. It's one of those things where if you're going to do it, you're going to do it. I mean, if you don't like that I'm not agreeing with it,
then we got a problem.
Then there might be issues because I'm not. I mean, I wasn't raised in a religious family. I mean, my parents brought us up saying if you want to believe in something, believe.
Go ahead. If not, then that's your choice.
Exactly, and I appreciate that. But if know if he did. I don't think so. But still, it wouldn't be an issue. I mean, it's yours. It's not mine. That's what I like about it. It's.
Oh, okay, that's good.
I don't
That's
have
really
to
good.
like it because it's yours.
And at some point, I mean, you're so young now that, and I'm assuming he's about your age, or is he older?
He's a little lot older.
What's a little
I
lot
guess
older?
he's not a lot older. He's,
Double your age minus 7.
Half your age plus 7. How old is he?
he will be 31 this year.
Then you're 22.
Okay.
Half your age,
Well,
so
half of- that's not
15
even a
plus 7.
decade.
You're right in there. Yeah, he's ready. He's in the game. You're fine. Don't worry about
15
it.
plus 7, 22. He's right where he needs to be.
Yeah, you're right. He's right. He's right. Fine. You got nothing to worry about.
So, and you're getting the benefit of having, because always girls age more mature than
Yeah,
guys anyways.
you got to figure. They say women are about 5 years more mature than men anyway. So you're probably right where you need to be.
And, yeah.
We had a podcast on age difference. We have a friend who's got a pretty sizable age difference. It obviously doesn't mean anything to you at this point in your life.
No, it's actually really funny because my sister's dating a guy this, like, our age difference is, like, the same. Like, her age difference with her fiance is 12 years. And then when my parents were together, it was a 12-year difference.
So that's gonna say you guys, your mom and dad they've got about a 10 or 12 year.
They've got a 12-year difference.
So that's probably why you're okay with it because you're used to that dynamic.
This is one of those
Well, and you
things
said that he's liked by the family. I think that's a key one too, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was huge because my ex was not liked by my
Yeah,
No,
like by the
he
family.
was not.
And
I can
don't think
vouch for
people,
that.
you know, people talk tough, like, oh, screw that. If my family don't like him, then I'm or her, or I'm
Right.
not.
No,
Yeah, it's a little bit of a problem to me. I mean, I think that it. Of course, your family loves you, and of course, your family is going to support you.
Right, no, you're
But
just
it
gonna
does
do it.
not bode well that for some people they just cannot get along with someone's family, and especially if your family is like very important to you.
Oh, yeah.
Not good. No bueno, man. No bueno.
No, I mean, Scott's seen how my family is. Like, we are very tight-knit.
yeah.
I mean, it's...
I'm actually honorary. I think at this point.
I mean, he was invited to Sunday dinner last night with the family.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you go?
So-
No, I didn't.
What
I
a jerk,
I know.
man.
All the
Wow.
My grandpa's in the hospital, so
Oh, okay.
I'm doing
Sorry.
some stuff with
Sorry.
that.
So we had some reasons.
I had some reasons.
Sorry, buddy.
Had it
didn't-
been like, I just wanted
Wow.
to come, I would have been like, all right.
You know,
Yeah.
our friendship can survive this. I feel bad.
I don't know, man. It seems like we're very testy tonight on the episode.
Hey, you know, it's afternoon. It's not 6 o'clock in the
You're
morning.
right, right.
When I'm game.
You're not hitting me when I'm defenseless.
So you got a couple of blank
I can body punch right back now. It's fine. I've had my caffeine. I'm good. I'm ready to roll.
Sorry, I digress. I apologize. I digress.
Off the rails on this one. Yeah. So it's going well. You. How did you meet? So you said you met him through softball.
That was pretty much it. Yep. I mean, we played each other in softball, and then
Like
we
where?
just went out of the blue. I got a friend request on Facebook, and a couple days. I would say not even a couple days. It was like a week and a half, 2 weeks later. Like I got a message, and it just said, "Hey."
So he slid up into your DMs.
That's exactly what happened.
What's the DM? What's that?
Direct message.
Oh.
Where are you in this picture?
He's in a happy relationship, so he should know any of
No,
this
I don't
stuff.
know a lot about the social media stuff. Noreen is my representative on my Facebook page.
Is
Our
it-
Facebook page.
That's
We
fine.
have a joint. We don't even have individuals. We have a joint Facebook page,
Which is-
and it's Noreen Jason. And I do that because she's the one that uses it, looks at it. I let her do her thing.
I can always tell though when Jason does occasionally comment on there because he's so as a matter of fact and courteous in his comments. Oh, thank you very much. It's very nice of you. It's very polite. Yada yada yada.
So, do you think you said the age difference isn't a big deal for you? Do you think it might be a big deal for him?
I feel like if it was, like, it already would have been, like, it would have already come up in conversation, like. you're
Well, no,
too
not
young
necessarily
for-
because you're in the 3-year honeymoon
month-
period.
three
Or
month-
3-month
3 month honeymoon
period. Oh, she's so great. We talk about everything. It's so wonderful.
I
And then
feel
in
like
6
most
months,
people
it's going to
pretty
be like,
open.
wow, she's young. I'm old. Not that there's anything wrong with you being young, but I'm
Right.
older. What could she want to see in a guy that's older than her? Blah, blah, whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
But you don't think so at this
I
point.
don't think so at this point.
So if he came to
Just
you
by the
tonight
reaction.
after listening to this podcast and said, you know, I think we should move it to the next level. I want to be just with you. Not marriage, not
Just
move in
like
together, but
Like
I thought about a lot of what you said on the podcast, and that
Right.
Jason sounds like a really handsome, intelligent person.
You should
And
probably
I
listen
think
to him.
I should probably listen to him and say, you know, I'm ready to say a more official Facebook status. You like that? I did a Facebook status.
Nailed it.
Yeah, baby.
we've been on
Facebook
it.
status. I'm ready to move forward. What do you think? What would be your initial thought?
Initial thought would probably be like, oh geez, it's happening. And then like my palms would get all sweaty because I get nervous and that's a thing. But
Well, they say that you're the best couples are the ones that are best friends.
That's true. Would you
Who
say he's
became-
your best friend at this point?
No.
I mean, he's got to top my sister.
Well, family.
And Scott.
Family doesn't
Oh,
count.
okay, family
I'm probably
doesn't
like top
count, like-
7.
Oh, well, in that
It's-
case, you're high up on the list.
I would say, well, Skye's looking like 7 friends, so I'm like top
Oh.
7.
Touche.
Shot.
So-
Touche, douche.
Well, he's not wrong.
Yes.
So,
When I say top 7, I'm number 7.
unfortunately.
So being
Well, yeah, I mean,
best
it's-
friends would be nice, and then
Like
being
I said, I mean, we talk all day, every day. It's not like I go without talking to him unless he's. I mean, obviously at work, like he doesn't have his phone on at work, so it's. But he goes to work really early.
do you have an internal clock on right now?
Ooh, is the clock ticking?
Oh, what are we talking
Like,
about?
well,
I mean,
you
I
have-
want to be like in a relationship, get married.
You
do
have
all
a
this
niece.
stuff, like,
You have another niece on the way here in a few months. Your younger sister's
that
engaged.
conversation, like, no.
Okay, so
No, I think more of okay. Right now, I'm 3 months. I'm fine. I'm comfortable. If I got to 9 months, I might start to question where we're going. That kind of clock.
wow, that
That's
gets
serious.
deep.
I don't. You know what? Right now, I don't.
That
think
is
so.
deep.
I thought we were what?
That's really what he said. I
I
mean,
thought
it
we were
wasn't-
talking.
Oh yeah,
about,
Well, that's like wow. Yeah, I don't think I've ever thought in a
Hey,
relationship
there
with
are
that, but
some
like 9
people-
months into it.
No,
where-
there are some people out there, and I think we all know them. If
Yeah.
I don't have a wedding ring, or if I'm not
By
engaged
this
by a
time.
certain time, then it's a waste of my time. I'm going
right.
to move on to someone
Yeah,
else.
but those people are pretty upfront about their goals and ambitions in relationships at a certain point.
And I think that's why I asked if it was an internal clock.
No.
Like it's something internally to me that if it was 6 months, not a big deal. 9 months wouldn't be a big deal. 3 years might have a big deal.
Yeah, no, I mean, like Scott said, like my sister has one baby and she's got another on the way. She's engaged. Like she's got all of it. And don't get me wrong, I thought that would have been me first, but I mean, every older sister expects that, you know. But I, at this point, don't. I am okay with like finishing my school and
Doing you.
Yeah, if I get into something with somebody like during school, don't get me wrong, like I'd be fine with that. But school, I want to have my school set, then I want to start my life.
See,
or
and
somehow
that brings up a very good point. For the next phase, school starts for you here in a few weeks, and you have to figure out that school schedule and life schedule and see
Yeah.
where he factors into that.
And that's where it gets hard because like I have to balance, and like I said earlier, like I have a dog. Like he already knows, like my dog comes before.
That was part of the top 5 friends. Is what
Every
we're talking about.
king
Yeah.
is probably like
Numero uno,
number one.
Or at least 1A.
Yeah.
Like 1A.
Yeah.
like Rory and then King.
Pretty
And some
much.
days it's King then Rory, depending on the Twitter conversations.
Sure, she wants to really fight me. But no, it's like I have to. We're on a routine, King and I. So it's I get home from work and it's we immediately go for a walk. Like I change and we go for a walk. That's every single day unless it's pouring rain. It's doing something. Like King knows we're going on a walk. So when school starts, I mean, last semester was we went on a walk and then I ate dinner, sat down, did homework. That was it.
What are you going to school for?
Nursing.
Nursing.
Well, I'm in my prereqs and then I'll apply for the program. But
Okay.
nursing is like end goal.
Okay. Okay.
So eventually it'll get to the point where like I will not have time for any more.
And it sounds like
dating.
because of this man's busy schedule, that's not necessarily a problem right now about compromising your goals and needs for your education with you need to spend time with me, I need to be around you, I need all
Right.
that stuff that can sometimes be a hindrance.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think he understands that like school's important to me, especially where I'm at in life and like what I want to do. 'Cause
Is that what is his career or what's he do?
he works out at I don't know how. Should I just say? I don't
No,
know.
it's okay if he says. Is it
He
a
works with
professional
these-
job? Is it a manual labor type of
It's
work?
manual labor
type
type
of
work.
work.
I mean,
Okay, so
it's-
he gets up early in the morning to avoid the heat of the work.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean
gotcha,
he works out
gotcha.
at like
No, it's okay.
kind
I
of
mean,
in factory kind of thing.
yeah,
but
that's
it's-
fine. I
he's up
just-
super early, does
Yeah.
his thing, and then he's off at like depending on if he works overtime, like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
okay.
I mean I'm just coming back from lunch at that time, so it's like he's getting off and I'm coming back to work from lunch. So it's like our schedules are pretty much complete opposites.
Do you feel like you're holding back emotions from him?
No, he's pretty much seen all of them.
But what I mean
All
is
of it.
that you don't have a wall over your heart that I'm not going to move too fast because I'm afraid of getting hurt.
I always have that fear just after
Oh.
my last relationship, but
Okay.
he understands that. Like, I put that on the table quick. I mean, when I kind of, you catch the feels. You know, when I started to feel like I was catching the feels, I was like, here's how it is. Like, I have these issues. This is how I am. Like,
Okay.
if you're okay with that, you're okay with that. If you're not,
You know.
we're gonna just.
And if you're not ready to handle those feels, you take a step back and you have to get yourself right. And that's the hard part, because if you're on the other end of that, if you're ready to talk about it and do all that, you have to respect the other person's wishes and kind of take that step back.
Well, and I think that a lot of people have a tough time doing that.
Yeah, that happened to me.
I mean, they see the woman that's the woman of their dreams, and yeah, she's got school, but screw school, and she's got this, screw that. I want her to be my woman. I'm going to do everything I possibly can to make her happy, even if that means she has to sacrifice her dreams and goals and career ambitions. Hey, man, it's for the best. There's a lot of people that
I think
subject themselves to that,
Right.
and then 10 years later said, holy crap, I gave up my dreams to go to college. I gave up my dreams to become something different.
I think
I gave that up,
I think at
so-
that level you have to be okay, with yourself and strong enough to say, listen, I'm going to do this, and if you want to hang around, that's great, but you have to understand that these are my priorities, my goals in life, and you have to support that, and you have to make sure both people are in the right mindset to even pursue that
I
relationship.
think that
'cause-
all of us at this table right now could say that does not happen all the time.
Oh, it doesn't. No,
No,
but
absolutely.
you have to be smart enough in knowing yourself.
I don't know, because so many people have other demons, things going on in their heads that make
I
them
already stopped school once for a guy.
and not going to do it
and
again.
I told myself I'd never do it again.
And
So,
maybe what it is the maturity of him being older and recognizing that he lost 10 years, maybe wanting to pursue something else that didn't. He's cognizant of that and says, oh, I get it.
Right.
No, you take care of that. Whereas someone who's 22, 23 might say, no,
Well,
it's our time. We need to be together. You don't need that school
I think
stuff.
I think the patience of someone older helps too, because I think even if they, I don't want to say if they're an immature 30 or whatever else, that's still probably more mature than most people in their early 20s, present company excluded. So you can argue that their patience is a little bit stronger and they're a little more understanding because of the seasoning that life has handed them.
Well, and they've been around the block. They've been hurt.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the polish is gone, so they don't have the same things. And let's be honest, what you wanted at 14, 15, 16 is different than you want at
so
22,
different than it is
which is
now.
different than you're going to want at 32 and 42.
Absolutely. What I
And-
wanted at 30 versus at 36 are different. So I can only imagine what you're going to find at 22, at 25, and then
Exactly.
30, and so
It's
on and
all
so
gonna
forth.
change. You
And
never
if you
know.
guys have this talk and you start this relationship, make it official, Facebook official, whatever you want to call it, and it progresses on to the years, you both have to be willing to grow and adjust. Because dreams change.
Oh, yeah.
And as long as you're willing to grow together, that's the important thing.
Well, and I'll be honest, from what I just heard tonight, if you never made it official, I don't think it would change a commitment level on your part.
Or his, for that fact.
It really doesn't. It sounds like you guys could go 10 years and never make it official and still be very happy with each other and committed to each other. And I'm with you, you're with me.
We
We
know
don't
how
have to
this
make it
is.
official.
Yeah.
We're getting close to the end. I'm with someone who just as flat out said, I don't want to get married for a while. And
Yeah.
I don't need the marriage certificate to be committed to you and me be committed to her. And that's okay too. I don't need to define that. And maybe that's the best part about what you have is
Yeah.
you obviously don't need to
Doesn't
define
have to
it, and she
define it.
doesn't need to
Yeah.
define it. And like I said, I would put that commitment against these people that, oh my gosh, I'm so happy, I'm gonna get married, oh my gosh, I have the great, and then they're bickering all the time, or they're breaking up, getting back together, breaking up, getting back together.
Would you say the moral of today's episode is that commitments be damned if you're happy doing what you're doing and you're open and honest with each other
Leave it.
about everything? You don't have to define it like the world wants you to. As long as you both know what's going on and you're happy with the direction you're in.
And it sounds like if that definition changes, so far, you guys seem to have that kind of like, okay, let's talk about it. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's here, whatever. Let's
just
talk about it. And
Well,
I
is
would-
he a football fan?
Yes.
Who's his team? And you're a.
I like to consider myself a free agent fan because I don't really have a specific
We're gonna get
team.
Skye a Cardinals jersey here because she was a San Diego Chargers fan because of her dad.
Ew,
But
I
since
was never a Chargers fan.
Ooh.
If
See.
anything, I was a Colts fan. Okay. I would never consider myself to be a Chargers fan just for
We'll
the
just
sake
stick
of
with
going
free
against
agent.
their
That's
okay,
probably better.
free
That's
agent,
probably
that's
just stick
fine.
with free agent because that
But I
is.
will
so weird to be a
go-
Colts fan from Wyoming and Arizona.
It's weird. It's weird. But
I think that just the moral of the story to me, I think, is that phases in every growth of a relationship, and it sounds like if you never defined it, but you guys are happy with the definition of whatever it is,
Keep going.
I can live
it.
with that.
Keep going with
I
it.
can live with that.
So, we want to hear your thoughts. Why don't you hit us up on Twitter, hit us up on Facebook, or even Instagram, all at Liquid Carnage. What's your thoughts on relationships? Do you feel like you have to have that relationship defining talk? Do you feel like you have to put things in stages and timelines, or it's not a successful relationship? Or are you good just going with the flow? Everyone's different, and I just want to hear some different opinions out there on what they like to do and what they see is the best way to go about a relationship for them.
I'd like to thank Skye for coming and talking.
The microphone is always open. If you have anything you ever want to talk about, you just text us and we will make it happen. Bring your A game. You've been a great guest.
No, thank you. It's actually a very interesting perspective, and one of the things I love about the podcast is we'll start in one direction, and by the end of the open discussion, at some point, it opens up something different. Like, oh yeah, why define anything? Just have fun and don't even define.
We're all about
things.
changing perspectives here on Liquid Carnage.
We try.
Also-
Skye, thank you very much.
Yeah.
thank you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we'll wrap this up today. Thanks for listening. I'm Scott.
I'm Jason, and as always, if you don't know quite what to say, just have yourself some Liquid Carnage.